Hey guys, welcome to another a proverb day challenge. So I started it yesterday with one proverb per day, and I kind of realized that I didn't finish giving a summary of chapters one. Basically, chapters one and chapters two, I kind of see both of them connected. So I'm going to be doing that connection in this video. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Neme. One of the verses that I didn't highlight in my last video was Proverbs chapter 1 verse 10, and I really think it's very important. Verse 10 says, "My son, if sinners entice you to not consent." A lot of times that we might be so we might be in that place where we are pressured to do things and that are not in line with the values that we have built. This is also bringing me back to verses 8 to 9 that says, "My son, hear the instruction of your father and do not forsake the law of your mother, for they will be graceful ornament on your head and chains about your neck." Now, this particular 8 to 9 of Proverbs chapter 1 actually leads us to verses 10, which says, "My son, if sinners entice you, do not consent." How would you know if you are being enticed by sinners? One of the ways that you can know is that you already have instructions, like verses 8 and verses 9 says, instructions of your father and do not forsake the law of your mother. Now, if you have these instructions guiding you, if you have wisdom guiding you, if you understand that you're supposed to revere God and you are totally submitted to God, like we said previously, that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, then you will not be enticed by sinners. Then you will be able to discern when you are being enticed by sinners. And that is why I love how the scripture says that you should tie those instructions around your neck. They'll be like chains around your neck, so that when you go out and you're being pressured by sinners in quotes, you would be able to remember the laws and the instructions of your parents. And finally, in chapter 1, verses 33 says, "And whoever listens to me will dwell safely and will be secure without fear of evil." One of the things that the fear of God will do for you is that it will guide you and provide you with wisdom. And it says that whenever you continually listen to wisdom, whenever you continually listen to guidance from the Lord, you will dwell in safety. So, one of the importance of having wisdom is that you will dwell in safety, you will not make errors, and you will be secure without fear of evil. Proverbs chapter 2 continues the fatherly instruction from chapter 1, and this chapter actually emphasizes the value of wisdom and the importance of seeking it diligently. Now, so I'm going to continue from chapters 1. Let's read the first 5 verses of chapters 2. It says, "My son, if you receive my words and treasure my commands within you, so that you incline your ear to wisdom and apply your heart to understanding. Yes, if you cry out for discernment and lift up your voice for understanding, if you seek her as silver and search for her as for hidden treasures, then you will understand the fear of the Lord and the knowledge of God." Verses 1 to 5 opens up with a conditional appeal, which is if you need to actively seek for wisdom. So the first 5 chapters actually says that we should diligently seek for wisdom, and it gives us a condition that when we seek for wisdom, when we cry out for understanding, then we would understand the fear of the Lord. Now, this links back to chapter 1 that says that the fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. In your pursuit for wisdom and discernment, you have to have a good relationship with God, because the fear of God, when you totally submit to God, that's when you would enjoy godly wisdom. Verses 6 to 8, it talks about the source of wisdom, and it says, "For the Lord gives wisdom, from his mouth comes knowledge and understanding." Verse 7 says, "He stores up wisdom. He stores up sound wisdom for the upright. He is a shield to those who walk uprightly." The Lord stores up wisdom for the upright. Sound wisdom. That means every time that we need wisdom, we can always go to God. And that also means that when we stay connected to God, we can always draw from that source. We can always draw wisdom from that source. So to stay wise in this world, you have to stay connected to God, because it's through God that we can draw out from that wisdom. And verses 8 says, "He guards the path of justice and preserves the way of his saints." And this is just saying that God is actually interested in people judged fairly. God is the kind of person that wants everything to happen equally. He doesn't want anyone to be cheated on. God is a judge who judges fairly. He doesn't operate in favoritism. He doesn't. Verses 9 to 11 says, then you will understand what is right and just and fair. With wisdom, a person gains moral clarity. The fruit of wisdom is that you would understand what is right and just. Wisdom will make you understand what is right. Wisdom that comes from God will make you understand what is right and pure. It also says that wisdom enters the heart and becomes a source of inner delight and protection. Through wisdom, you are protected against evil. That's why if you go back to previous chapter, I was talking about whoever listens to wisdom will be safe. So finally, I'm going to say that wisdom will save you from the ways of wicked men. And that is in verse 12. Verse 12 says that to deliver you from the way of evil, from the man who speaks perverse things. Wisdom provides discernment, enabling the righteous to avoid the snares of corrupt and deceitful people. So wisdom will protect you. So one thing that wisdom will do for you is to preserve you from falling into danger. And that is why it is important. So I'm going to just end chapters 2 here and then quickly we see tomorrow for chapter 3 of Proverbs. I love chapter 3. I think I'll have a lot of things to say on chapter 3.